the fact that, yes, we have some changes in Chamber and it's being used on this map. And when you're not playing a double Sentinel or a triple Sentinel on this map, the information that you're lacking right now for both of these teams, I think you're going to look for some early aggression from your Chamber a lot here in this game.
Absolutely. I will look to TIG on the KO to make sure that they're getting information, the negative info, if they're not grabbing anything with 0 point, as well as poised, and just how everything flows overall. We see changes with Chamber, with changes with the roster here for FaZe, as LG continue to stay solid with this 5 here.
Yep.
As we get on to Fracture. This, again, as the Des said, favoring a bit towards LG. They like to get comfortable on this map as we see a little bit of the underpass being worked here to start things off. And everybody's just feeling the pressure right now and see where these trademarks might be to be cleared out initially.
Can't get too comfortable for LG at this point, too, because FaZe on the other end has done a lot into their roster changes. I almost feel like the Fade was a counter pick directly to Optic before, just to counter that Neon, but now they're using it themselves here. With all of LG setting up towards the arcade, they're actually pushing over Dicey back into a teleporter at spawn site at half HP, trying to clear out towards the rope side, and they're pinching in towards B.
A-Halls is clear, so they know this is going to be a B hit. It's just how long Poise can stay alive to grab information from the rest of the squad coming over. Baby Bay on that lead. B-Dog drops 2 on the backside, man.
Baby B-Dog rather come in with a third kill and even spot the last one. Superman stuck inside the corner. Easy kill for TIG, and that is a clean pistol round to start things off for Luminosity.
Prepared for what happened behind them. They're able to kind of snuff out as well from the side of FaZe when they were coming across what that trademark was trying to capture. We saw it alive at the end of the round still. But LG just ready to rebuttal what was happening on that flank. B-Dog starts off with, literally, I feel like we saw this clip in the intro for today. He's just doing it again.
Yeah, that's it. And it was actually good that B-Dog's the one that's going to be kind of like almost flanking while everybody else is pinching towards that B heaven side. So the chemistry's coming there for LG to start things off, keeping FaZe on their toes. And again, not having that extra Sentinel, extra utility as well to get information. They got to start acting a little bit more here for FaZe on their eco round, as LG are looking to focus once again towards this B side at the beginning. And this FaZe stack, the gamble towards the A side, maybe not paying off as of yet.
Trying to do, a bit of an anti-eco over there. We'll see if they can swarm the rest of what happens from the side of LG. Again, working underpass to the right side, just to buy some time in the round, get themselves into a position that might have the back of some FaZe members on defense. Good hold here, coming in from TIG.
Exactly. Good way to start things off from Poise, though. Bringing in this KO into this map. That 0 point spot at 4 players, forcing that rotate. But you can already see that LG is trying to pull this rotation back towards dish side, so TIG is trying to sell this fake. It works out for a one-on-one against Baby Bay, but everybody else from FaZe is still stacked towards this B site. And once again, LG looking to creep up towards the arcade side and looking for this hit towards this B site.
So much patience from LG as well. They want to use everything. They're giving the respect to FaZe 2. They're going in, Vans.
Yeah, that utility is going to push everybody back, and that aftershock from Dazzle even is going to drop Baby Bay just by that generator. It's going to be an easy plant now towards this B site. Not really for long, but they have some control towards the B heaven side for LG. Dazzle continuing a streak into this round. A second kill off screen with the Spectre onto the smoke player of FaZe, with the last 3 players now stuck inside spawn on the outside. They're just looking for exits pretty much at this point. Run this clock down, trying to see if a couple of guys from LG could die away with the spike. Yeah. But at least for now, it's that round secured for Luminosity for 2 in a row.
And looking at B-Dog now, Marshall in hand. A lot of times you see that if somebody wants to get an operator or if they're just good with the Marshall, as we see. But looking to what happened when LG played Sentinels, full rounds in favor of Sentinels, B-Dog gets an operator, the game flips on his head.
Yep.
Right? This guy gets himself to an operator, and then LG has much more control of where they want to go, how they want to execute, and what might be a first kill, where he might get those first bloods, as Sideshow was talking about, to give them so many rounds because he opens it up efficiently.
And I still like the changes from FaZe so far. Yes, of course, they're using a confirm optic that it's been proven on this map that it works well, but we never really see Baby Bay playing a Neon on this at all, pretty much. And having a Neon, looking at the economy that's usually being used by FaZe right now, when usually when he plays his Jet, and he gets this pistol round in, and he gets a couple of frags, he could build a Vandal up into the second round, then go into basically Blade Storm into the third and fourth round. Well, you at least have that overdrive to work with, but Let's talk about that a little bit later because we do have some pressure for the defender side towards bench. It is a gun round for a FaZe and pretty much a full bonus round for LG as they haven't lost any players on that previous round.
FaZe now working underpass after multiple LG beginning rounds started there. FaZe, they've kept this 3 kind of death ball working around with each other, making sure they're pushing at least one side of the map, gaining more info here onto LG, and see how they respond. This might be one of their first A hits, and they've got the 4-1 split.
It's the aggro angles we were talking about before. Just in front of the door is first blood for Dicey. TP back towards the spawn. Tig is trying to catch him off guard just by the top of Dish. Smoke's coming in. He executes now for LG towards this A site, and Tig is pushing through. He still has a knife, but they're pushing through. Oh no, the gun is out through the smoke, and that's an easy kill for Flya, the newcomer, or should I say a welcome back to Flya into the roster to get that kill. But still a 1-player advantage for FaZe. A 0 point is going to spot a couple of players from the defender side at that spawn. And at least, well, I was going to say that plant was going to come down, but the orbital strike then comes out from the defender side too. So Superman flushes that out. He's coming in from the back end, and he gets 2 kills as Flya picks up that 2nd kill for himself in this round. And FaZe, well, they don't allow LG to convert into their bonus round.
No, they don't, and it's kind of FaZe was doing somewhat of the same thing round after round with different pressure from a different location, I could say. That time really working well that it wasn't the A-Halls push, but still pressure in A-Halls. We saw that first kill come from there, and then the team coming in from B was able to pressure. And FaZe really didn't change much on that round. It's the time they catch LG off guard, and they gained a lot of info with how LG wants to play it on that too.
Yeah.
Split into the 4-1 means they may be trying for these kind of mass attacks on a site.
Oh yeah.
So they expect to see utility, but don't react on it right away, because easily could be a fake.
Off cam, they tried to go for a triple push down towards tree side for FaZe. As a 0 point from the attacker side actually spots 1 player, and they're in a great spot here for LG to go for this pinch inside this A site. Look how stacked they are for Flya and Dicey out in the open once again, trying to get some support from the flash breach. Dicey with the first blood, dink for 140 damage with the Phantom. The pain shells to come out. He gets a 2nd one before he dies from Dazzle. A great job from Dicey, as we talked about it during the death segment, that he had to be one of those players, along with Baby Bay, that really carries FaZe across that finish line, and he's doing really good in the first few rounds here.
It's smothered this site as well, knowing that FaZe is kind of going to be in a reactive position. They actually choose the perfect site for only 2 members of Breach and Chamber are Tig and Mata coming up with 2 big frags there as they look to finalize this round, Vans.
2 versus 1, make that a 2-on-0 Tig. With the flashes coming out on both ends, they really worked it together for these trades on this pulse plant in the end for LG. So it looked pretty good to start for Dicey. Like we mentioned, he did a great job, but that was easily counterbacked by the amount of players that came in for the trades here, Riv. Just because we talked about it before, it was basically a 5-on-2 for that split into the A site.
Yeah, that becomes real difficult when, especially with Flya being in the site, right? Breach is going to have to do fault line in. You don't have much time to reposition for that situation, and it just becomes so difficult to really get your gun back out and make the fight happen in your favor. Nade's over, so we see a little, not pre-round, but early round action now as they try to give each other a little what for as they start off the 5th round. 3 in favor of LG here. FaZe still looking to take that early space and figure out everything they can.
Because he wants to play close here with this Stinger. He gets spotted out by the Boombot, throwing it out. The volley, the fragment on the ground from Tig. Superman is already down. Smoke's also down for FaZe if they try to go for a retake. And if LG continues to work this B site.
As much as I say that FaZe continued to play that aggressive stance on each round, Vans, I think LG realizes they can start to absorb that. No, LG is definitely putting themselves in front of the line of scrimmage in a lot of these situations as the round starts. LG here is continuing to absorb it on the 5th round.
The beauty of having more information utility, but at least when you're duelist, Mata finding that one for the first blood, the assist for the first blood into Arcades. But Flya, he is a little bit more, going for a bit of a kill there, but
almost 2.
Not more than that. Yeah, almost, but no cigar. LG just, I mean, at this point, it's been pretty much Tig that we've seen him light up the scoreboard on assists and kills.
Yeah, and again, pushing, poking, prodding, that nade that came over. FaZe is hoping that, okay, maybe we did some splash damage with the raised nade. We can follow up on that. Or, sorry, not FaZe, but Mata threw that over. So just really looking to pepper damage onto LG to start off. the reads are right. They're choosing where LG is, but the raw firepower right now in favor of LG here is we're going to get one of their A strats. All 5, they've placed a trademark pretty far on the left side, too, to realize that there's a push.
Oh, we're going quick. So we have the null command from Tig. A split into Sands. We're playing a retake. No choice here from FaZe Clan as they're stuck inside an eco round. Couple of sheriffs. But aside from that, we're just going to push aggressively here for Tig. Mata gets this kill through the smoke as Tig gets that information. They do have the overdrive to work with, but now that you don't have any more flashes on the board for Poise and you've lost Flyout, don't know if you're going to invest into that yet. B-Dog going for 2 kills of his own at the rope side. And the last 2 might not have too much to work with unless Dicey could go to work here with this ult.
Okay.
Maybe Beto, nice pop. Second kill coming in. Oh, this overdrive has to come out after, most likely. A high-low stack coming in on towards the A site for LG. One player looking for a molly setup from Muso, so they have to act quick for FaZe Clan to move in. And the off shots continue to ring in. And finally connects onto Dazzle, a 2 versus 1. But you see this clock clicking down. Yep. You also have this molly that's about to drop. It's not going to happen. At least some decent economy damage for FaZe, but LG, they're really taking their map pick to their advantage.
LG just basically blind after a flash right there as FaZe was trying to come into the site. You have Breach, you had KO. There was no chance that FaZe could really approach that spike site. So you see the power of those 2 in combo of Breach and KO as they're still alive at the end. But really nice job by LG here, kind of demanding that they be defended when they head to sites. That last one, I should say, really wasn't a wait and take. You know, the one before that, they did absorb LG. This one, hey, FaZe is on an eco. Let's pressure and make sure we know exactly what they are going to do on an eco. So basically the anti-eco. And now you get FaZe's timeout. So LG is going to have Chamber's ultimate coming online next round. B-Dog's comfortable, even though he went down to Dicey, which their Chamber ult was used on that last eco. So really that round unfolds even more in favor of LG with everybody going down still.
Yeah. And so far, we haven't seen too many opportunities of like immediate trades for FaZe where they're really trying to set up their duelist or trying to go for this double swing, triple trade. Nothing really of that sort. So it seems as though LG are doing a good job of understanding the positioning of some players and catching them off guard, because we're seeing a lot of these first bloods that not necessarily goes untraded, but they really can't pressure back here for FaZe. So I don't know if it's a miscommunication, still trying to figure out the roles now that Fly is coming back into the team. See how that pays out.
Well, Vans, we get that op-on-op action now. Who to force out for B-Dog. Dicey has his beautiful flash. The combo. You love to see it every time.
You also love it, exactly. Every time I call something out and I call out a team and it works out into a teamwork play, that's what I want to see. So it's a great start here for FaZe for the first blood, and that's also Mata being down. Now this allows FaZe to just reset up here and just play more deeply into the sites, as you can see here from this radar on the top left.
Timeout for the win so far. What's next? You know, what's next on that docket? It can't just be one play that you have after you take a bit of that timeout. 1 minute left on the round, and they are putting pressure on LG now that the move has to be made. So that's from previous rounds. The trap is found quick. And look at that bait for B-Dog. But no one on FaZe is biting. They don't have to. Even at 5-1 down, they don't feel pressured into making these peak situations, and that's great to see.
Depends here. We have the double initiators towards the A side as well. And there is that rolling thunder to come out. A little bit of pressure towards his A side holes, but it's still going to be FaZe Flya that gets the kill onto Take. So the players are dropping towards this A side. It was supposed to be a fake. You saw a couple of them running back towards this A side, and now they both lose their initiators for LG at the A side. Now there's only 14 seconds left on the clock. You're just going to have to rush it out. You had the dual defaults for B-Dog, and he's going to try to open up. 9 seconds left. It's not looking too good here for LG to get the 6th round. Baby Bay's even playing the off angle towards that back, and now it's secured. There's no time left on the clock. And FaZe, they do a good job here of, you know, playing the numbers game and staying patient and running the clock down.
That's a big round, because we just talked about what happened on the eco, LG picking up more, throwing everything together, and just getting banked behind them. So for FaZe to be able to shut that down, get that B-Dog ultimate out there without it doing any damage, honestly. And this setup from the timeout, really great. Baby Bay on the other side of the map, right, watching this, because if it were to be at B, he just sprints on over. So playing that positioning on the map, still having some raw firepower as your anchor in the site there. Really nicely done by FaZe to kind of be switching it up to make sure LG can't get win after win here.
Early knife for the 0 point, just to try to see if Baby Bay is going to play towards that dish, and indeed it spotted him. Meanwhile, we did have a bit of pressure towards the Sands as well. So from FaZe, they have an inkling that it's going to be an A-side split for LG. The rotation's already coming in.
Just waiting. Here's the pressure. Superman is going to play it. Superman been having a decent game for himself. Always very critical of his own play. Got to be happy with that so far.
Bit of a mistake, a
hear the
fumble to have the spike down already, and the showstopper doesn't work out as Flying Baby Bay. They continue to light up the board here for the advantage of FaZe. And like we said, that fumble with the spike being on that ground, the rest is just utility, playing the numbers, and now you're on a 5 versus 1, Moose. Seen you do it before. Can you do it again? I mean, all 3 of them out of the 5, or even 4, are all stacked up where they can get hit by normal strike, but not when a knife comes out from Poise, a flash, and a swing from FaZe to now narrow down this lead that LG had at the beginning. So this timeout that came out from FaZe a couple of rounds ago is coming out into fruition and paying dividends.
Do we see a timeout for LG now? Like I feel like this is LG was feeling loose. They felt good. FaZe kind of said, hey, let's take a breath during that timeout, and you see a little bit of that looseness being punished here by LG coming into this round. It does look like they have clicked that timeout box in LG. Oh, no, never mind.
Hey, you got some box that came out. It's going to slow things down for a bit, but they can't talk.
The other timeout. But yeah, just getting dismantled now, and it really wasn't that factor of the operator or the tour de force being up for B-Dog, as I said. FaZe really coming together as a team to make sure that that kind of pivotal point of LG can't just open up the round every time with one single kill.
Yeah.
So FaZe adapting really well on this. They're not just pressuring anymore. LG started to absorb that, hold them back, and keeping those rotations.
Yeah, and shout out to our observers with the fly-throughs that we're seeing across the map, even seeing that board in the control room saying the stakes are high. And that's what the Des mentioned before as well here, Riv, where, you know, you're already in week 2. And we say already because it's like, oh, it's only week 2, but there's only 5 weeks of play. So actually getting points on the board in your record, this is a very important match for both of these teams to just try to make it through the playoffs. And as Sideshow mentioned before, I mean, FaZe currently 0-1. All they're trying to do is to make it through to the playoffs. But both of these groups are pretty stacked to their own liking, right? Where any team can kind of upset anyone. I think both groups in the NA VCTs are both groups of deaths.
Absolutely. Yeah, coming in here, just looking at the open qualifiers of who beat who and how, like, right? The first time we saw that, V1 was just like, oh, right through the first one. Now, your V1 got beat, dropped down. That was going to be from some of the teams we're watching this weekend. And then you just see everybody beating everybody this time. Yeah. You know, the patch changes, the way things are flowing after watching what happened in Masters, the way teams are approaching situations and new protocols. I think everybody gained a little bit from that, and we're definitely seeing it level out the competition. It's just who can now compete with that option, right? You know, is it just following them? Is it innovating off what they have? Mata currently restarting PC as we wait for him to get back into this one, if you were wondering.
I'd do the same thing if I missed a showstopper with the guy in front of my face.
Yeah. What he did, like 60 damage with that thing. That hurts. Right into the sand, just making glass. That's about it.
And this unfortunately is kind of like a little stick in the wheels for FaZe's momentum at the same time, as we just mentioned, right?
Yeah.
The timeout, getting some very convincing wins into the defender side until this PC crash happens, and now we'll see what's going to come out of it. FaZe gets a chance to breathe, but as you know here, fans, as a technical pause comes out, you can't really discuss with your team. So all you got to do is stare at the screen, make sure that you breathe, and at the same time, I think this is a great opportunity for other players that probably has a little bit of that the jitters, such as Flyer, for example. That could be one of those players coming in, right?
You know, if they have any questions, if they're doing things right, reaffirm and let them know they're doing well.
Just hopefully not second-guessing themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Already for, February and March, when he played with FaZe, had that controller position, at a position where, initiator, rather, to where he was playing Sova. He had a few Breach games in there, and I think he also had some Astra as well, so he does have a decent agent pool that Flya can flex onto. So getting back into FaZe for him didn't seem like it would be too tough with that. It's the communication. It's knowing what to call, when to call, not overcoming, etc. All the things you could write down and, tack on.
Yeah. Now it's time to get back into things. It seems as though Mata is good to go. And into this round, we do have an operator for B-Dog. Yep. That's the only big gun that we have. Maybe a Spectre here for Take. Pistols for the rest. While for FaZe Clan here with 3 players trying to work out towards the A site. Dicey is looking for contact down towards the arcade side with the high-low stack from Baby Bay at B Heaven. So a little bit of an escapability plan from Dicey and some stoppability from the relay bolts here from this Neon.
A lot of times, as we see our first shot, I was watching the minimap a bit. B-Dog is watching his own trademark. We see that constantly. That if it's going to be used, then try to get something off right away, knowing there isn't a flank yet in the round. Why not? So the early portion of this round, trademarks are just kind of hovered around. You see him walking away from it now as this executes, going to be towards the B site. And I think we have Tig just doing a little bit of distraction to what Poised has, but all 5 are there at B. And it looks like they've chosen the right site for now. Let's see how this works for FaZe's defense.
You see the importance of that trademark, because nobody was looking towards that tree side for the defender side, and now the orbital strike comes out, and Tig rushes up towards this arcade, and Dicey falls, and that's also an orbital strike that comes in here for the defender side, just to slow things down for a bit. A neon wall, Superman continues to go to work. Baby Bay goes in for 2 with the spray. Tig now the last man standing, but cannot do more than that entry kill, and that's FaZe going into another round in this half.
Round 10. Quiet before the storm, if it had a title to it. Oh my gosh, that was intense. Baby Bay being able to live in that corner. I don't know what made LG so sure to just fire that orbital strike a little farther forward, because the fast lane inside the site then makes you reconsider even trying to get in. Everybody's still on the stairs at that. Superman popped out. Cape is on. Baby Bay has his own cape. And then you just get the finish off by Poise. 3 there, 1 ready from Canteen. That was a disgusting defensive round from FaZe.
That's one of the things that I had a question mark in going into this game, too. I mean, there's a lot of question marks looking for a FaZe where you could maybe even favor LG winning this series unless you're Sideshow, you're just sleeping on LG all the time. But the Flyers coming in is one question mark. But the other one is Superman as well. Like, Superman, you saw some star power and the potential that Superman could bring during the LCQ when he was playing with Rise, and then going into the season here. Still potentially one of the best smokers that we have in North America, but doesn't have potentially the same consistency as somebody else like Mar for Optic. And to see him putting like 5 assists so far and doing some great anchoring roles for FaZe as a Brimstone, you're liking what you're seeing from FaZe so far to actually make this a very good series.
I feel like Superman's one of those players who, when he comes online, he just keeps coming online even more and just takes agency over the game. Really can start offense and defense positioning. Watch out for what he's going to providing this game. FaZe again going back into that aggressive positioning, Vans, to take the early space.
Yeah, and the good thing here for FaZe is the style that they're playing so far. LG continues to really just inch up very slowly across the map. So they're the ones that are playing without any information. Thankfully, this trademark is going to help a little bit here on the attacker side.
Oh, does it catch the hip?
I think that's still okay. It makes it. It makes it. But they're still holding the angle for Take. Saw that coming with the blue wall just across the side. An underhand flash, but you can't really run across that when that trademark actually spotted them, right? You see that the little slow field on the ground. So the attempt was there, but not at. Didn't get to the success that it was intended to do.
Yeah, we see another firefight here. Nice nade forward. Fragment almost gets that one as Tig takes him down. And it's kind of what I spoke about before. The trademark is played around in the beginning, because even if that trademark didn't see, they're there for the ability. And LG thought that, oh, there's a trademark here and no one's going to be near it. There's only one. They need to cover more things. No, people are playing around the trademarks.
30 seconds
you can't
left.
be tricky with them just yet.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a lot of time for people to figure that out.
So Dicey can't really pop off. He's stuck here towards the A side as an ult command comes out from the attacker side. Take leading charge once again. Superman anchoring towards that back. Will only be able to drop one, and Flya blocked by the smoke should give an easy plant now. As he's suppressed, he can't really come out with the aftershock, so you'll get this plant, the pulse plant for 4 players of LG. Nice little shot from Dicey. Pushed out from the aftershock from Flya. Still has a fault line in hand. The flash around Jenny. Doesn't spot anybody yet, but there's still Mata at the arcade side. He's going to be the first contact that's going to help the rest of the team utilize whatever they have left in terms of utility, and that's Mata with 2 satchel charges on the first plant. Dazzle still goes to work. Dicey now the last man standing on a 2 versus 1. Picks up the Vandal. That clock is still ticking down. The fault line is back from Dazzle. There's that fault line. It doesn't hit him. The jiggle peek and the jump spot.
Jump.
Now they could go for the double swing. Just going to leave it, get the timing on halfway, and Mata goes for the inch out. And that's 6-4, and finally a round that's answered back by LG. With, you know, a nice attempt from FaZe on that flank, but it seems like Tig has been having like a 6th sense / radar somewhere on his bot skin to know that these flanks are coming.
Yeah. They're ready. I feel like they're just kind of saying, okay, FaZe is still playing a bit of their aggressive positioning, rightfully so. LG waited for that again and absorbed a bit of that pressure. So it's kind of this seesaw game of, is FaZe holding back? And we'll see LG not be able to do much in the beginning of the round. It's almost like they're getting more off of the rounds that FaZe is pushing forward because that first shot firepower has been in favor of LG. The longer rounds, FaZe seems to be able to collapse a little bit better, figure out what's going on here. They keep themselves in a position, not pushed just yet. They are on hall doors, which seems like they want to crash through. But again, Baby Bay just kind of sitting underneath. They're not as aggressive to start this off.
Yeah. I mean, they're putting Fly along with Dicey. And fault line, a couple of flashes that came out. B-Dog's actually watching the underpass. Misses a second one, though. Couldn't TP on time. So that's a nice trade from Poise to make it an early 4-on-4.
Mata with the creepy play here. Fragment goes up just so you can gain an angle back. Is that enough for Tig, though? Great combo.
That was a fall line, but it's unfortunately a 0 point that comes out instead. Nice little satchel charge to push him back to. That allows for Mata to stay alive. But that's good information picked up for FaZe. So they have 3 players now set up inside that site. The fault line from Dazzle to try to give space here for Mata to get out. Here's an ult coming on the defender side. A run up from Dazzle still. All of that utility is gone for a bit while you still have that KO down on the defender side. That allows for a bit of sprays to happen, but at least for the attackers, they were able to get those smokes down from Brimstone. So that will pretty much nullify the null command, no pun intended, and allow this post plant to happen for LG. At the generator, take nice swing from Superman, but it gets quickly traded out by Mata at the arcade side.
Ooh, Moose so low.
Yeah, another 2 versus 1 with Dicey low. Moose is low as well, as you just mentioned here, Riv. There's not too much utility to work with for FaZe. It's just going to be a creep-up game. He gets a nice headshot onto Moose.
This setup again.
Yep, and an aftershock on top of that. But the double swing, they line up, and Dicey's going to have to try to hunt it in. Drops over to an operator, to another one. Oh, no! He picks up the gun, but there's still utility here on for Dazzle. The jump peek, and that's no time. Just unfortunate that he went from an op to pick up another op and almost got caught, but in the end, still around for LG as they're up at 7.
Deja vu. Looks like we just got a duplicate round coming in here. 7-4. LG does have that lead so far. The longer round there, actually playing a bit in favor of LG. That first pick on Baby Bay underpass was really able to open up quite a bit for him. We saw the rest of FaZe react off of that. It does seem like a lot of, Baby Bay's dash out, right? He'll slide out 2 or behind him. He's in a different position. There's still 2 peeking, but maybe from an off angle on stairs. But not working out that time. It just seems like LG's opening kills are on point this first half.
Yeah, and that 0 points spotted so much information too. 3 players towards the arcade. Start inching back here towards the A side for a jump spot to spot Dicey on the other end. So that's now probably an indication that LG knows that tree side is open, and that's exactly where they're headed towards to.
So no Roomba. Mata and Tig just came back over the rope. So I feel like a Roomba, or his Boomba rather, got thrown out over there. You can see Baby Bay just kind of figuring out what he did here, if anything. Fast lanes that trademark, and he might... Oh, no, I think he got pinged. It just doesn't seem to work that well yet. They got to figure out that angle to see what LG can do from here.
Yeah, they have a Rolling Thunder to work with as well. So keeping him close towards the arcade side, trying to re-clear against our opponents. Also, the 0 point comes back up for Take. So they can use that for trying to figure out where now FaZe is hiding. We're playing cat and mouse, ringing around the rosy towards this B site. And now we're just basically at where a round started like a minute ago. So now it's going to be probably a 3-2 split because you only had 30 seconds left on the clock. They really have to leverage now this Rolling Thunder to get into the site. Yes, indeed. So that knife is going to spot at least a KO to start. And now we're going in for the execution. Lots of stuff
Prepare for hellfire off your feet. Sounds like fun.
On both ends, and it's still going to be a 1-for-1. 10 seconds left on the clock. They have to act quick here for LG, but Flyer continues to go to work. The crossfire is perfect for FaZe, and they're able to close it in to make it a 5-7 scoreline in favor of LG. It took a couple of rounds to get the gears rolling, but FaZe got it done, and now we have a close game. Let's take a break, and when we come back to see if FaZe could actually get the executions on the attack and make it even closer. Welcome back, my friends, here to the second half between FaZe and LG on his first map Fracture in this best out of 3. We just caught in with the action now. It wasn't as close as it was right now and when we started the pistol round here. So, Riv, what's been going on here for FaZe?
Honestly, we were talking about it a little over the break. I feel like when FaZe has those rounds, when the communication is on, even with Fly It in, it actually seems really clean. Like their retakes, their utility usage, their rebuttal on these takes. Looks like a bit of the FaZe aggression here to start off. They're going to Smeeg up top. Baby Bay on this Neon. But yeah, LG a bit more solid. They were trying to feel out aggressive and defensive rounds. Where FaZe was able to fight back.
You'll
get
one.
Be a 1-for-1 trade.
It started off well with FaZe, the amount of utility to allow these players to get up on towards the B heaven side, but after that, quickly traded out. Superman going to work, but then it's going to be the frenzy from Moose. 2 more of his own.
On the loose.
It's down to a 2 versus 2. We're looking for this orb for Moose at the same time, trying to bait out the sounds too, but finally, we'll get at least a spike plan down for FaZe.
That's what happened when you mess with a Moose's child. Just get run right down. That was full speed. You love doing that. And he's feeling pretty confident that he's got a lot of their attention.
This is interesting. They actually didn't even go for the plant. They're actually pushing down to go for the trade and then get it onto Moose. Now it seems as though these 2 players are just going to run now towards this A site where Mata's rotated over, and he also has paint shells to work with.
Oh no. Don't get utility timing. Oh, he hears.
30 seconds left.
Unlucky.
What, give him the swing?
I mean, you're trying to time it right. I mean, you heard the footsteps coming out from the A-holes. You're like, okay, well, 3, 2, 1. They should be halfway, and suddenly FaZe stops and they use utility, and you get caught off guard, unfortunately, with the spacing that you got. So, nice attempt. But yeah, I gotta say, I thought B-Dog was gonna be able to just mow them down with that beautiful shorty, but FaZe recuperated quite well on that 2v2.
So close. Could have gone either way on that one, but it is going to be FaZe's. Feeling good with that pistol. Let's see if they can run away with it. LG was able to get the first half pistol round. Switch that up and see what the answer is from FaZe. Baby Bay trying to time everything right here as it gets shut down by a 0 point. Looks like they're still keeping the map pretty spread to start this off here. They really want to test LG to start off and say, hey, here's some pressure. How are you going to react? And it looks like they have got LG to bite pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, even Dicey gets a kill towards the doors side and TP's back to safety. So early man advantage for FaZe. We have a flash and attempt to push on the pistol. It works out for a kill. That's Baby Bay down for FaZe. And actually, I like this composure from LG that after the kill, you go back with numbers and just stay as a group, a death ball, and just trying to continue to work these classics in your favor.
Yeah. The time of the round. Know you're pulling the opposing team apart even just a little bit, right? They separate. The web of that gets a little thinner, and their defense gets thinner. Here we have the hold by B-Dog. We've seen this headhunter do so much. And he's going to be making the call to the team. You see the rotate from 3 coming over now from LG. B-Dog gets out to safety. Let's see how they can do the 4v4.
Full utility for Dazzle and Moose as well. And even Tig has a bit to work with. So this could be really good. The focus now to look back to take control of A-halls, but little do they know for LG is that it's a deep crossfire for FaZe. This could work out for a nice little bait and switch for Marshall to come out. And there you go. Dicey 2 kills of his own, making a triple into the round, and Dazzle's not going to have too much left to do, so he's just going to dance around, make it a little bit hard for FaZe to actually get kills, and he actually gets one of his own, so that's not too bad. 2 kills with no investments going in for LG, with the exception of utility. It's not too bad.
A little pop there. 7-7, so FaZe has tied it up. See if their bonus round goes through. No ultimate's ready. No, Moose actually has his. He was able to focus a few kills early round and grab that orb. nobody's really close to tying him up on that. Dicey may be able to find it with the opening shot, so I figured this round will be a bit slower. With Dicey going down, the Marshall buy, we know, leaves him with a bit more econ, along with Headhunter purchase, so
yeah.
Baby Bay and Dicey, kind of game that they play this time.
Feels like we're going to see this a lot, where you have this double initiator to support Baby Bay, and, you know, when we were looking at this composition when they're using Optic, and kind of no Optic of how they're able to just play retake with the utility that they have with this composition, but on the attack, it's full execs. This time for FaZe, though, it seems as though these two initiators with Baby Bay are just looking for early map control, while Dicey is going to be across the other side to try to get picks with Operator, Duel de Force, whatever it is, just to try to dwindle down these numbers and allow a fast execute to happen right after. But this round, we pick up an orb for FaZe, and then we all group up 5 players towards the arcades.
And they've repeated that a few times, right? You have Baby Bay run in. We had it last time. Poised really being the one to grab the alt orb this time. Null Command 1 away, and they look to go from coast to coast to be able to get that. Null Command's online, but Dicey's down. VDog with the kill.
One offline, one online here with the Null Command, and Take drops Baby Bay. The barrel of the guns continues to be spotted inside the smokes of Brimstone. And it's still going to be fire, though, with the rest of FaZe on this 2 versus 4 in the beginning is doing it on the numbers. Try to make this salvageable for the round for FaZe. Paint shells coming out from the back end here just to prevent this plant from going down. Orbital strike at the same time. A couple of flashes going in for the last 2 players, too. And we're actually pushing forward. That was a perfect flash for Poise to move forward to get this kill on Tamada. And just like that, it's a 2v2. But then Moose and Dazzle swings across on that B-Link side. And they stop the bleeding into this round, and LG, the answer back.
There's a bit of that kind of clean play from both teams there, right? When executed, the flashes Canteen, completely clear Canteen, and give Poise an awesome kill as he comes up on Mata. But then they're a bit separated. They can't work off each other as much, and you see LG, with their positioning they had, able to kind of rebuttal back to the site. Both teams, they're really pushing each other to the limits, and it's coming down to these ones now. It seems like B round after B round is what's getting the attention. Somebody's going to realize it soon enough here. And it looks like they are going to try to get a rush towards lower again with Baby Bay just creating a bit of space. See if he can get an even audio from underpass here too.
Yeah, lots of pressure towards his tree side to also allow Dicey to pick up the orb and start up the Duel de Force, and he's going to look to battle it up against VDog. So the head-to-head mentioned at the desk, it's about to happen here towards the A-holes. It's with a fault line combination, too, potentially, to try to swing out. It's a flash, actually, instead, sorry. This VDog's going to look to inch back out, but Dicey was put into position in the beginning here.
Pushed. Oh, so far. Baby Bay's waiting. Dazzle's able to drop Poise there. Shots to come through. Vans. Rendezvous out after 1.
Miscommunication, how they wanted to scale up towards that side of the halls. And they lose 2 players in the process for a FaZe overall, 1 on each extremities at A-halls and arcades. And LG now
this round.
once again, but Baby Bay somehow makes it through their spawn side. Only good for that 1 kill as Moose pinches in from the Canteen side. Last players to move forward now as Superman is looking for a plant, potentially for long if he can. He's looking to stick it.
Oh my word.
Aftershock to come out, the wall bang at the same time, just from the audio cue of where that spike was going down. And Moose gets another wall bang kill. These guys are just going to spray with the Vandals. And this is a lot different from like the beta days when we were always talking about how Phantoms is better through smokes. Now we don't really care where, you know, the bullet tracing's coming from, where the sound's coming from as well. We're just getting these kills with wall bangs nonstop.
I just had my hand on my forehead for a lot of that round. That was really interesting. Spike was mostly always towards B. The push going around from satellite, it doesn't give you false information, right? Because you still have B-Dog waiting in A halls, but you're not for sure what's going on. Spike still goes B in the end. We have that B work over and over again. Like, that round had a lot of audibles called in it.
Yeah.
It's like LG did a great job of spamming it right down. Okay.
Yep. You want to move fast, but not fast enough. Double flashes coming in from both ends, but everybody's blind, and finally works out in the advantage of LG because it did have that 1-player advantage. Aftershock to push him back for a bit, but it's not going to be looking too good for FaZe as he only has pistols to work with. And as I say that, continue the caster's curse. The advantage swings back in favor of FaZe. A 3 versus 2 as a weapon is being picked up by Flyer as well. Make that even a Vandal for Superman, and the plant comes in safely. VDog now.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a lot of sauce being thrown around right now. Holy moly, this game, Vans.
We got a fault line, couple of flashes. Dicey still watching on the back end of Arcade. Oh, the shoulder, the timing. And it's going to be Dicey that falls back. But a good advantage for FaZe is they're running this clock down once again on that spike. B-Dog with the kill. A nice fault line from Dazzle. A 2 versus 1 just like that as they're winning their individual fights. Beautiful flashes coming out too as Swimman is down to 16 HP. And he gets the clutch from Red Bull here with 2 beautiful headshots with the Vandal. And he saves the round for FaZe.
Soaring through the air on that one. Oh my word, Superman. We talked about it before, Vans. What Superman would we see today? And looks like we're seeing one, the LCQ one that's showing up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Being the kryptonite of LG's lead that they built up at the beginning of this game, and suddenly this is going tit for tat as yeah, it's not really too much going on with like FaZe's executes are really quick on getting map control in the early rounds, but it really comes down to these clutch situations. We saw it now from Superman, a couple of them from Faya, and now with FaZe, 5 players moving towards the tree side orb.
Position themselves in. Oh my god, LG is on the move right now. They've completely encompassed the top side of the map already with members. Rendezvous back into A. And here goes the fast lane and the rest of it into A. Rolling Thunder, or B, sorry. Rolling Thunder as well.
Good way to slow it down, though. Defensive Rolling Thunder to hold people back. You do have B-Dog with the dual defaults. So we are pushing through Swan once again. Nice orbital strike. Even a beautiful flash coming out, but it doesn't work out for kills, unfortunately. But Mato's in the back of the site. That spike down. We still have Dicey pushing up. Answers back with an op. It's an op for op, and Dicey's on his own. And then B-Dog lands another one with the dual defaults, and that's going to be LG now in the lead by 2. Man, this is starting to get intense on FaZe's attacker side.
I love the double play in the bomb nook there, just on the backside of bomb site. They saw one come out, they fragged it. Why else would somebody be there? 2 members of FaZe come upstairs without even turning around. Absolutely cleaned up by LG, playing some mind games there. And again, we see that spot being safe. A lot of the orbital strikes are going towards heaven, right? So put someone there, put a few people there, have a party, some cocktails, and just proceed when necessary. Seems like LG had that one planned out pretty well.
Well, there's going to be another player with the party. It's going to be B-Dog. 2 kills collateral with the operator. And yeah, that's the way to start the party. If not, there's also Mata that's getting ready with the showstopper if needed be. But at this point, it's not needed. Again, another situation where the economy's not too great for FaZe. They're going to have to try to get something done. Baby Bay, what an operator on the attack.
You got the I think you got Dicey's, right?
Yeah.
They pick it back up. I just want to see him slide in there and start railing people from close up. Oh, my word. Still got the rotation again. FaZe playing off the ball. This time they don't have the spike, so it's going to be an underpass move coming in from Supermen. 1 minute's plenty of time if they have the angles work it. Ig's going to be waiting just above. It looks like they will be able to grab the spike here. How much of A can they get is the question. Yeah, contact is the game
here. And you can really see it. Fly is not really set up to like flash to allow Baby Baby to come out. They're just trying to go with the up, and it works out. So he makes it on the tag. Top. That's the first one to fall, but you still have this spike making its way all across. This is a beautiful fault line, and Flyer's going to push through. Orbital strike to go for denial on that plant. There it comes. Just off it. This battle's now coming towards the spawn side. Hiding inside that smoke is going to be Flyer. B-Dog's inching forward, but Baby Bay gets another kill inside Sense. He's trying to jump away, but Moose answers back finally. But Flyer gets that classic kill onto B-Dog, and somehow it's a 2 versus 2. Spike is now planted. A molly in the hands in the chamber of Moose, trying to see if it could push somebody outside of their position. Underhand flash from Tig. Beautiful one onto Superman. Leaving right now a 2 versus 1. Still an aftershock in hand, and that gets disabled. That's a beautiful 0 point. Even on top of that, a fragment on the ground. This is looking to be a full defuse coming in. A little bit of chip damage from a Spectre. A Spectre of all things, unfortunately. At least a little bit of econ damage, but at some point it looked like it was going to happen.
He gets the operator, pulls out with that. But if for that being a bit of that low buy round for FaZe, they did a lot of damage to LG. Maybe putting some things together for the rounds to come here if they can keep tacking on that economy. But FaZe will call a timeout. See where that operator goes this time. Really, was that? I think that's the first time we've kind of seen B-Dog take a fast, aggressive position like that. A lot of what the teams have done have been together or moving off of just kind of information of one or the other. Their opponent peeking, I should say. But yeah, B-Dog catching FaZe off guard with the collat.
Yeah.
That last round, that'll snub whatever you want to do. And now FaZe is kind of maybe calling for that breather once again. Once they did it in the first half, they really were able to pull up what they were doing and get some rounds for themselves. So here, resetting, FaZe will call a timeout.
Comes to show that one less trademark for Chamber is not going to be the deal breaker into the S tier ability of the Rendezvous that Chamber currently has. And as you mentioned before, Riv, like just the aggressive angle that B-Dog took, even Dicey's doing the same thing on their defender side is just too valuable to let go for this agent. And you know, on maps where we thought that it was going to be like this one, actually, where it's going to be difficult to only have one trademark, well, now you have your Chamber in itself being a body turret with an op or with a tool of false to be able to get some kills.
Exactly, and you can still get away.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And I wonder if there were no trademarks there, do you still? The questions keep coming, right? The push forward by FaZe, or FaZe rather, unfazed as they get that. Keep themselves pushing. They will grab the orb one round after the other and make sure Poised is locked and ready to go. Baby Bay as well with his ult.
Couple of pings here towards the bench and also Arcade, trying to see if they need to re-clear towards this bench side for FaZe, and they make their presence known at least. And this is another one of those situations. I think now you're trying to get Dicey to get some sort of pick towards this tree side, and then have Baby Bay once again playing that lurk role duelist, as he seems to be taking that role as even Jet in their earlier games, looking at the stage 2, and even in 2022. And with that said, there's no contact being made, Riv, and you're just going to play off no information for FaZe, and you're going to just have to start guessing.
I like the way FaZe have been playing it. Just kind of back and forth. They're, getting info. Can we get more here? What's the utils on this one? In the end, choosing A with 30 seconds left to put the pressure on LG. Is it enough, fans?
What's enough at least for a kill on the B side, and that's Take the Fall, one of the key players for LG in the beginning of the game. This time he's offline on the bench for this round, and the smokes are so thick. They get a plant, and they still get great positioning for FaZe after, and now you can already see for LG, it's too little too late. Still a lot of time on the spike, but too late for them to go for the retake. They're just looking to save their weaponry into the next, so very nicely done for FaZe after all.
They come into the next round, Dicey with the possibility of now grabbing an orb up to his ultimate. Flya's pretty close as well, so if you would think about how FaZe had been playing these previous rounds, it'd be Flya's orbs next round, right? Satellite orb, B orb. Flya's in there, they have a Rolling Thunder. So they really are putting the pieces together each round here, and you can almost see it as FaZe grab another round. LG doing everything they can to deny these. Have 11 rounds. FaZe has been able to get themselves a few here and turn it back around, but the operator's still there for B-Dog. See what else they can do on this. Is he buying another one? No, he just went light armor to keep everything he can with his headhunter.
Yeah. Makes sense here, and I got to give it to Fly. You know, we've been asking about his, how he's going to perform, and I don't know if it's because the fault line don't give the assist still, but I think he's been doing quite well, at least as anchoring and going for trades here on the defender side, and really allowing Baby Bay to get a little bit of activity here on the attacker side. Is they're going back for the scale up towards the arcade side with the utility from the double initiators, and that counter 0 point from Tig at least spots that, and that's going to slow it down for FaZe.
I can't use that.
Push one back. Fault line now, Baby Bay getting the entrance. I love how he just comes around the corner, wiling out. His team ready to swing with him. Boom. There it is for Flya. Let's go. Rolling Thunder's close. They might even give him the spike.
Pulling in on the other end,
so
though.
he can keep control of the angles. Oh my word, that got real touch and go. They're getting pushed in now. They got to be careful of what the reaction is.
Tig has to come and shoot in the corner. Baby Bay stops, and then Flag gets another
that's huge.
Nice kill onto Dazzle, and B, that's huge. There's nobody left inside the B site. 3 players from LG towards the spawn site, and it's almost going to be one of those situations where Spike's going to go down, and then you just try to save if you can. Unless Fonda can get something done with potentially paint shells and a showstopper, but there you go. Falling back for another save, and this is at least a nice attempt from LG to go for the backstab, because for FaZe, as you mentioned it, Riv, it was perfect. What was on that checkmark was trying to gain space, break the utility from Chamber, and also get an orb for Flya, so he has his Rolling Thunder. They go back for that flank, but then they get punished for it.
Let's see if LG can go back to these, just wait out the phase rounds, right? Let them peak, because it does seem like they have kind of a robust peak each time. Yeah, Baby Bay messed with B, but then they went back 3 peak satellite.
Yeah.
And they kind of come back 3 peak something else. So I think if LG can somewhat identify that and say, oh, okay, there's that 3, there's that death ball, they might have a better chance. But that's where FaZe is kind of saying, hey, we're still Brimstone on this side and probably Poise or somebody else hanging out if it's not Baby Bay on the other. They've done a great job at keeping that kind of distraction alive as well. So LG, in the midst of figuring that out, I think they've been playing a little bit safer on these rounds, but FaZe was able to come up with 2 nice frags there at Arcade.
So now no armor coming out from B-Dog.
Yeah, still imperative, though, for that operator. That's what changes the game for LG.
We have a little bit of a judge here towards B Heaven side. It makes sense. 2 Spectres. A couple of utilities to work with in terms of ultimates as well. Or from Mana that still has that in his back pocket from a couple of rounds ago. And for FaZe, I haven't even seen an overdrive from Baby Bay yet. And you know what? Maybe they don't really need it because they continue to build this economy with the rifles that they have on their attacker side. And they're one round away of tying things up.
And look at this already. FaZe going towards A. They got the 0 point again. They did it last round too, right onto B-Dog. Well, okay, we'll avoid him. It's just walk away. Absolutely incredible for the start of the round info there to make sure to know where that operator is going to be.
Seems like we're looking for some focus towards the sand control. But I like the positioning from Dazzle. If there's anything Smoke's coming down, he could probably fault line straight into the door, which is why you have this position where maybe he's jiggling for a bit, but could have a position with the fault line just to slow things down for a bit to allow him to escape back into the spawn side. But as that happens, it seems as though it's going to be a fake towards the A site with these smokes to allow the other 2 players to catch the defenders off the rotation towards B. So it's off for one thunder. Baby Bay gets inside the spawn side, and here comes the other ones rotating out towards this B site.
Oh, the transition is cut off too. They can't rotate through spawn without a little fight with Baby Bay here, Vans.
The entries are coming in on both ends. So Baby Bay, just that utility, that Rolling Thunder was just to get Baby Bay into spawn so he can cut rotations. That we talked about in the past, and somehow he still gets the headshot with the Vandal while he's stunned. And players are still falling on the defender side on the other side of the map, and it's going to be now FaZe tying things up 11-11. We wanted a wish of a close game, and we finally got it.
The strats they're doing are creating such a nuisance. 3 were cut off towards that A site, Vans.
Yeah.
Ridiculous that they were able to get in there. How well played. That still, again, like I said, there's a death ball of 3 and 2 doing something else to make you think differently. FaZe is just working this so mechanically right now, doing a great job at LG calling a timeout so they can wrap their head around this, right? B-Dog's been found out all the time, and they eventually went towards B-Dog that time, but he's just not having he is having an impact, but not that first round because beginning of the round impact because FaZe isn't allowing him to.
Yeah. I think, I mean, not to harp on the poor guy, but the one that we need to step up a little bit more as well as Mata. And in the sense that looking at LG in 2022, B-Dog's been stepping up to the plate consistently in his chamber role. But it's also Mata, actually, that we gave a lot of praise into how he's been very effective as the second duelist flex for LG so far. But it's not necessarily on his performances in this map. I think FaZe is just doing a good job continuing to pull these rotations out on their attacker side to not allow Mata to get any value. Because how many rounds has he had his showstopper in this half, and he hasn't had a chance to use it? Right? Where's the fault line for him to move out? Where's maybe 0 point for information for him to come out to basically get some kills if he can with the showstopper for the retakes? They also have to try to figure out how to stop Baby Bay towards spawn side so he could actually rotate across.
Oh dear. Wave 2. Mata comes up with 1, but again, can't use the showstopper as he's part of the initial fight. We've seen this with LG before, and it had usually cleared past Satellite this time.
Yeah.
They meet that battle of FaZe, so we do see these strategies collide for once, and LG comes out on top.
Big timeout used by LG, probably in that sole focus of let's prevent them from getting the orb or moving close or reacting on the orb, and they did so in
It's
spades.
been free orb all the time.
Free orb, but now this time it's potentially a free round for LG. It's a 4-on-2. They have 2-2 on both sides of the site. Angles are being watched from everywhere. The only thing is that Dazzle's the one at low HP, and Superman, who's been on point on his side for FaZe, could get a beautiful entry back up towards the A side. And same thing for Dicey, creeping up here. Moose in the back of the site. Backben's sticking out. That's an easy kill. Superman looking to trade it back, but Dazzle, okay, he's going for the fault line instead. This is now Superman on his own on a 4 versus 1. He has economy to work with, so I think he might go for this just to try to make it a little bit more expensive for the defender side. 23 seconds left on the clock, and look at how much respect your LG is giving to this last player of FaZe. Nobody's rotating across early, and they're still playing a 2-2 on the sites.
It's like if somebody throws one more thing, you can catch them in utility timing or get that last bit of positioning. Oh, brim on brim. It looks like Moose comes out on top. 12-11 is LG. Finally stop the bleeding. Get themselves on match point, and we'll see if they can make this one work.
Yeah, so no econ damage. So we're going to have a full gun round for both ends. LG, they're lots of orbs away from getting a couple of ultimates for Moose and for Dazzle. Same thing for FaZe. Superman's 1 away from an ult of the Orbital Strike 2. Will we try to get some pressure now to battle up on both ends? Kills will also activate some ultimates here, and it's looking to potentially be towards the arcade side. There it is.
He just runs it up. You're kidding? He had to dodge a fault line, then get the shot out. Dicey had his coconut water today.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like they're going to be playing strong on this one towards arcade. The orb is grabbed, and that's going to be Superman with the Orbital Strike ready.
But Dazzle! Command that stops things up. Baby Bay's going to stop Tig. We're still trying to anchor towards the site. Baby Bay's trying to push towards the canteen. Doesn't work out, and it's a 4 versus 2. Superman and Flya, they still have this Orbital Strike just waiting for Tig to drop. So actually, it's a 3 versus 2 to start things off here, as now Flya is creeping up. No more utility under his belt. That's an ult now towards the B heaven side, and they might try to pinch still through the smoke inside the spawn. And indeed they are. Out towards that B link. Bonda's just on the other end at that generator. The gun's sticking out. Superman gets the kill. What a beautiful bait there for Dazzle, and a save. Actually, sorry, a bait from Flya and a save from Superman, but B-Dog's still alive. That spiked down with 37 seconds left on the clock, and Superman is going to have to pull out the cape, be the Kryptonite again, and be the hero that FaZe needs to be. So he does get the plant for the A main side with the smoke and now a molly to work with, but look at the rotation. It's coming in from the A hull side. And now Superman is actually playing on the top of...
Get the high ground.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He's got time, but he doesn't know it.
Oh, no.
So many things happening now.
Oh, no! It doesn't work out. B-Dog gets the kill with the amount of utility just from the trap wire. You have one less. That's all you need for LG. That's good enough for them to take the first round 13-11.